It's a Manchu. Welcome to Minecraft Bedrock vs. Java, where I play through both versions of the game and compare them. I'm in the Bedrock world here now, and I promised I would go and get some villagers, and I want to build my own village. And actually, in the Bedrock Edition world, I'm going to build it in the Woodland Mansion. But I need to obtain... I guess the blunt way of saying it is abduct a couple of villagers from this existing village and take them to the Woodland Mansion. The best way to do that is really with a boat. That's kind of the best way to get a hold of them. So there's a few things about boats that are different between Bedrock Edition and Java Edition. I only mentioned the one thing that was different, that the crafting recipe is different. You need a wooden shovel as part of the crafting recipe in Bedrock Edition, and that's not part of the recipe in Java Edition. But they work a little differently as well. In Bedrock Edition, I can get in the boat and move it around and pick up a villager in the boat like that. I can't do that in Java Edition. A mob won't get into a boat when I'm riding it in Java Edition. I wonder if I can coax this other villager in here. In Java Edition, villagers will only enter a boat from the sides, but in Bedrock Edition, I don't know, maybe they only enter the sides as well here, but it looks like he's not getting in for some reason. He's not actually in the boat. Here, let me get a different boat. You getting that one for me? There we go. That was weird. I'd like to have both of them in one boat if that's possible. Another interesting thing, another interesting difference. Boats have, they have like a health bar. They have a little over 8 health points. So you have to do a little more than 8 damage to them to break them. In Bedrock Edition, an axe does 4 damage. And that's not enough to break a boat in one swing. In Java Edition, a stone axe would do 9 damage. So you can break a boat in one swing in Java Edition with an axe. I should be able to get 2 of them in one boat, but that's I don't know, it doesn't seem like... I'm trying to push him in there and he's not coming in. I don't know why. I need 2 villagers to start with. If I can possibly arrange it. There we go. Now I got them in there. Okay. That's good. Another thing that you can do in Bedrock Edition with boats that you can't do in Java Edition is you can attach a lead to the boat and then drag it along. And that's going to be extremely useful for me. If I can drag this boat... Oh, I think I might have broken it. Nope, I still got the lead. There we go. I don't know that they'll take fall damage in the boat. Yeah, it looks like they're safe. I can drag this thing over to the water. And then get another boat for myself to ride in. I gotta be careful though, I don't want to get too far ahead and break the leads, you know? They're on the water now. There's also a drown that's, I got some attention from them. Let me get out my maps, and I'll follow the map to get myself back to the Woodland Mansion. You have to take it easy here, I don't want to get too far ahead and break the lead. Alright, now I can see right up there is the Woodland Mansion. And you may wonder, how the heck am I going to get the villagers up there? I made these slab stairs, but I obviously can't row a boat up these stairs. That's true. And also I still had the bug where the boat kind of rubber banded away. I think before I go any further, let me take a little nap here, because transporting these villagers at night is going to be hazardous. Let's not risk that. It's true that I can't take the boat and row it uphill, but I can drag it on a lead. And, well, I broke it. I've tested this with an empty boat and it worked okay. This one's being problematic. I swear this works with an empty boat. I tested this out before with the empty boat, and it works. I can drag it uphill. But with the boat with 2 villagers in it, it doesn't seem to want to work. I wonder if 1 villager it would work. Let's try to drag one villager up the hill. Okay, this seems to be working. Okay, this is good. So maybe 2 villagers is just too heavy. I didn't think that that would matter, but it may be that that matters. Because, boy, I was struggling with that and couldn't get it to work. Alright, let's put this boat down. See if we can get this villager to get in it. Yep, he got in it. And I will drag these guys one at a time because I don't want to try to drag 2 boats on leads at the same time. That's going to be problematic. Yeah, okay, this works good. With 2 villagers in there, I could not, for the life of me, drag it up this stair. Now I can do it. And obviously, because I can't put leads on a boat in Java Edition, I can't do this in Java Edition. I have to jump up a little bit to make sure that the boat lifts up above the ledge, the lip of each step, but it's getting up there. I can actually even not just drag the boat, but I can row it upstream. That's something you can't do in Java Edition. If you try this in Java Edition, the boat will just get waterlogged and sink. And obviously you can very slowly row the boat over land. I think it's a little quicker to drag it on a lead, though. There we go. Let's take this boat over to the area I've set up for the villagers. And I have to go get the other guy. There we go. In addition to rowing the boat upstream, I can also drag it upstream with the lead. That works just as well. Alright. Now let's just close all these fence gates so the villagers don't meander outside of the official village area. I've set up here an area for armorsmith, weaponsmith, and toolsmith. You see, this is the workstation for a toolsmith. A blast furnace is the workstation for armorers, and this is grindstone is a workstation for a weaponsmith. And over in here I have a little market area where I've got a loom, that's a workstation for a shepherd, and a fletching table, a workstation for a fletcher, a grindstone, which would be a workstation for a stonemason, workstation for a cartographer, workstation for a fisherman, and I don't have any lecterns yet. Those would be workstation for librarians. I'm going to set those up over here. And over here I have something for a farmer. And I stole from the village that, a brewing stand, a workstation for a cleric. I also took from the village this bell, which I can use as the center of the village, and put that somewhere. Well, you can see I have this fountain here, and over here a series of beds. How many is there? 2, 4, 6, 13 beds. I might need more eventually. There. The bell isn't necessarily the center of the village. But in any case, it's not really that relevant. In order to have a village, I need beds. And once there are beds in the village, these villagers will claim one of the beds, and it becomes a village. So this is officially a village. You can see that this villager that didn't have a job profession has claimed their cartography table. I don't really care which workstation they claim, but I'm going to have a villager for every workstation at some point. You can see hearts forming above the villagers. That means they want to breed, because there are extra beds in here that are unclaimed, and that's one of the criteria. They also have to have food. They may have food. They may have already had food from the village they were in before. Let's break these beds. Wait, make sure I've closed off the gates here. They're not going to get out. I don't want my villagers escaping to other parts of the mansion. I want them to be in this area. Whoops. Oh, shoot. They've already made a baby, and I smacked a villager with my axe. That's bad. It'll be fine. Okay, this guy's gone over to work at this workstation. I should actually have quite a bit of paper I could trade him for money. What do you want? Potatoes. He's in the market for potatoes. Alright. Let me find some potatoes, but for now I'll buy some bread from the guy. And incidentally, once I've done that, I've locked in his trades. Now he will always be a farmer, and he will always sell the things he's selling. These trades aren't going to change. And for these guys, I'm okay with that. Let me sell him some paper and make him permanently a cartographer. But I definitely want these villagers to make lots of babies, lots of baby villagers, and I can have a villager for every workstation. I suppose now is as good a time as any to start talking about trades and how they're different between Bedrock Edition and Java Edition. For one thing, when you level up a villager, they will instantly open up the next level of trades in Bedrock Edition. In Java Edition, it takes a little while, so you have to wait a little minute, and there's going to be like purple particles that appear above their heads, and then they unlock the next level of trades. For another thing, even though the items that they can possibly trade are the same between Java Edition and Bedrock Edition, they're chosen slightly differently. In Java Edition, it chooses 2 trades from the available trades at each level randomly. In Bedrock Edition, it's going to choose always 1 trade of something that they'll pay emeralds for, and 1 trade that they'll sell something for emeralds at each level, if there is such a trade. What that means is, for farmers, for example, in Bedrock Edition, they will always sell pumpkins, no matter what. In Java Edition, there's a 1 in 3 chance that they do not sell pumpkins. Armorers, on the other hand, in Java Edition, they will always sell a full set of diamond armor. But in Bedrock Edition, they're only going to sell 2 diamond armor of some random type. That's why I have 3 blast furnaces here. That was an intentional idea, because I'm going to need a minimum of 2 armors to get a full set of diamond armor, and I might need more than that depending on how lucky or unlucky I get. Oh, they made more babies. I'm going to, make sure to keep them away from food. When they breed, when villagers make babies, they use up the food in their inventory to do it. I want these guys to not have any food, because I need to get at least 1 villager that doesn't have any food for a specific purpose. Once I get that set up, then I'll start giving bread to these villagers and get them to breed more. But they have to have food in their inventory to be able to breed at all. Yeah, notice another thing. I sold a lot of paper to this cartographer, and now his price has increased. He needs more paper for an emerald now than before. If I wait long enough, that'll cool down and it'll go back to the original price. I'm not sure if that's how it's supposed to work, but Java Edition is different. If I sell a lot of paper to a cartographer in Java Edition, their price will actually drop, because they like me for trading with them, and that gives me an improved reputation, and their prices drop slightly the more I trade with them. Whereas in Bedrock Edition, it's a supply and demand thing. If I sell a lot of things to 1 villager, their price will go up for that item. I've waited long enough and his prices went down. Fantastic. Another thing I should point out, I've made some lightning rods. I think this recipe is this, yeah. But I've already made a bunch of lightning rods, more than I needed. You can see I have the extras over here. I want to take this copper block here and put it on the grindstone, and I will turn that into some cut copper and show you what I did with the lightning rods. With the Caves and Cliffs Part 2 update, rain is going to be a lot more common. It's going to happen more often because of some of the mechanics they changed. And that means thunderstorms are more likely. Now, lightning can potentially, theoretically, strike things that are flammable and cause them to catch fire. But if I put a lightning rod down, it's going to attract the lightning to the lightning rod. And any lightning within 64 blocks of this lightning rod is going to strike the lightning rod instead of anything else. I decided that I'm going to actually put cut copper blocks underneath this lightning rod. The reason for that is copper ages over time, and it will start to turn green over a long period of time. But if lightning strikes on or near a copper block like this, it will clean it off, and it will turn back to the original shiny copper color. So this will actually, I can check this once in a while, and I can see if lightning struck this. Lightning is something I never deal with. It's something I never bother to worry about. In theory, lightning can strike wood structures and catch them on fire. In theory, lightning can strike villagers and turn them into witches. But in all my time playing Minecraft, I have never, ever seen that happen. On the other hand, this woodland mansion is enormous. So there's a lot of area here that lightning could strike and possibly catch something on fire. There's a lot more area here that's vulnerable to lightning than normally I would have to deal with. So just in case it's a problem, I decided to put down some lightning rods. And it didn't take many, because it works within 64 blocks of the lightning rod. I put down 3 lightning rods, and it's more than enough to cover the whole roof. But interestingly enough, if I can get on my soapbox for a minute about parity between Java and Bedrock, I know supposedly the devs are supposed to be concerned now about parity and trying to get better parity between the two versions. And yet, lightning rods are a new addition to Minecraft. They just came on in the 1.17 update, I believe, was when they were introduced. And yet, they work differently between Bedrock and Java Edition for no discernible reason. As I said, anything within 64 blocks, any lightning strike within 64 blocks of this rod will hit the lightning rod instead of anything else. In Java Edition, it's any lightning strike within 128 blocks will strike the lightning rod instead of anything else, instead of within 64 blocks in Bedrock Edition. That's different. Why? Why is that different? If the devs are so concerned about parity between the two versions, and this is recent, this is a recent addition to Minecraft, why not make lightning rods work the same between both versions? I don't know, but it's definitely different. All right, let me try to set something up here. I'm going to take this Fletcher villager, who I have not yet traded with. I'm going to move him over here. He's right in the corner. Let's trap you in there. And I'm going to put some hoppers here that lead into each other and into the chest there. It's interesting. He was a Fletcher, but then decided, oh, I can't reach that workstation. I'll become an armor. There. Now the farmer is trapped in there, and that other villager is trapped over there. Nobody at this point should have any food. That's what I'm hoping is the case. I've set this area up as a farm. I hydrated all of the planks around here, and I hydrated this. I have a waterlogged plank underneath this composter, just like in my other farm. So I can turn all this into cropland. I didn't do this already because I didn't want the farmer villager to start harvesting the crops and filling up his inventory with food and then going and trying to feed the other villagers. I don't want them to do that. And now I'm going to plant potatoes in here. Apparently this guy had extra inventory of carrots. I don't want him to have carrots. Stop planting carrots, buddy. At the early stages of growth, it's hard to tell carrots from potatoes. Yeah, that's carrots. That's carrots. So obviously this farmer had some carrots in their inventory already. Not enough to actually breed, but they did have some stuff in their inventory. I need to pick up these carrots because I just want potatoes grown in here and nothing else. So the idea here is this farmer is going to continue to harvest these potatoes and replant them. And he's going to build up an inventory full of potatoes. When he has extra food in his inventory, he'll try to feed other villagers. The only other villager he can reach is that guy. So he's going to throw potatoes at this armor villager, and they're going to end up going into the hoppers instead of going to him, because he won't pick up the potatoes unless they land on the ground at his feet. So they'll end up in the hoppers and go into this chest, which should, over time, fill up with potatoes. So this is an automatic potato farm. Obviously, I don't have the advantage of fortune to harvest these potatoes, but I don't have to intervene with this. It works automatically without my intervention. So that's going to be good. How much potatoes I'll get out of this, I don't know. Obviously, it's going to take some time before the farmer fills up all of this cropland. If the farmer fills up all this farmland with potatoes and then starts having extra potatoes to throw at this villager over here. But eventually, once this is set up, I should get a steady supply of potatoes, which I can then sell back to this farmer because he buys potatoes. Now that I have made sure that these that I have a villager that has no food, and the farmer should start giving food to that other villager. Now I'm going to start feeding these villagers lots of food. Here, have some bread. Have all of the bread. In theory, when he has extra food, he'll give it to the other villager, but I'll also give this villager some bread. They need either bread or carrots or potatoes or beetroot, some kind of food like that. I don't think wheat works, but those other kinds of food works. Bread is something they need the least of. I think they need 6 bread to have enough food to breed. But eventually, since there are still unclaimed beds in the village, the 2 villagers that I've given bread to will breed more villagers. I want to keep supplying them with food so they'll keep making more baby villagers until I have a villager for every workstation. This could take a while. Hey, it's working! There's potatoes in the chest. A significant amount of them. Excellent! Alright, well, at least I got the village off to a start. I have an issue here because I have 4 nitwits. Nitwits are those guys with the green coats. They do not take on workstations, and they're kind of lazy. They're not actually useful to me as villagers, and I need to find a way to dispose of them. 10% of villagers should end up being nitwits, but I have 4 out of, like, 13 villagers that are nitwits. I'm going to deal with that, and then I'm going to go over into Java Edition and get some villagers set up there. Okay, now in the Java Edition world, same deal. I'm going to have to abduct some villagers, but if I put this boat down, let me find a villager here. And I can also break the boat in one swing, of course. Let's see if I can grab one of these villagers. They'll jump into the side. Always difficult to deal with these guys. Oops, I forgot. Get out. There we go. They got in. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't attach a lead to the boat like in Bedrock Edition, so I just have to take one villager at a time. So I'm going to take this guy and head back to my home base. In the Java Edition world, I actually created a building for breeding villagers. In the Bedrock Edition world, I didn't do that. I just had a village established with enough beds and threw bread at them to make them want to breed. But I'm actually going to make a building specifically for the purpose of breeding villagers in Java Edition. Well, technically, I already built it. Let me show you in a time lapse. I am aware, you may have noticed it in the time lapse, that there are some mistakes I made in that build. I need to fix the roof. I need to add an extra wall that I forgot to put in there. But in any case, I'm not going to be able to drag this boat on a lead upwards. I can't row it up a waterfall or up upstream in water because it'll just get waterlogged and it won't work in Java Edition. So I'm going to have to find an alternative method. What I'm going to do is I have a piston down here. Zoom in on this. There's a piston down there with a dirt block on top of it. I just need to maneuver this boat so that it's directly over that. Okay, that's about right. Now I can't use a lever underwater, at least not in Java Edition, but I can use this block to power it. And that moved the piston upward. I have to break this. And the piston will retract and leave the dirt block where it was. So I've moved the boat up by one block. Now, I just have to repeat that. Over and over and over again. Now it gets a little easier because I'm above the water. I just keep doing this until I raise the villager up far enough. Now, a piston can only move so many blocks. I think it's 12 blocks. So once I get to a certain height, the piston's not going to activate anymore. Yeah, there it is. It means I have to move the piston up a little higher and repeat this process. This might take me a minute. Another thing you might notice if you're familiar with Bedrock Edition, you might think it's a little funny. I'm attaching the lever to the block next to the piston and not to the piston directly, because if I attach the lever to the piston directly, when the piston moves, the lever would break off. In Bedrock Edition, you can attach the lever directly to the piston and it won't break off when it actuates. Running out of room for the scaffolding, but looks like I'm up here. How could you miss? Oh. Unbelievable. There's not a lot of land there to hit. It's mostly water. Whoops, I got on the boat. I didn't mean to do that. See if I can make it. Yes! Yes, I made it! Whew. It was rough. And I did actually die, but I got a villager up here. I just have to do this one more time. There are some beds over there that he should be attracted to. And there's also a workstation up there. I think the villager, therefore, should head up there on his own. That's my hope. But I want to wait till evening, so he'll want to try and get to the bed to sleep in it. Okay, the sun is just about going down, so now, if I break this boat, fingers crossed, this villager will then try to get to those beds over there, and hopefully get into the boat. He's climbing up. And right into the boat. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Okay. Now I just have to repeat this for the other villager. Piece of cake. Get in. Get. Ah! I'm trying to abduct you from your home. Get in the frickin' boat. No. Get in! Finally! Man. These villagers, I tell you. No, 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 where you go? Where you go? Where you going? Don't go that way. Don't go that way. Don't go that way. Don't go that way. What was that? That's better. And right in the boat you go. Alright, now, let's let them out. I am going to have to open these trapdoors. And close these trapdoors. So now, the way it works is... The way this villager breeder works... This farmer is just going to harvest all the carrots. And once he accumulates enough carrots, he'll give extra carrots that he has to this other villager. And once they both have enough food, and they see that there are unclaimed beds over here, they'll make baby villagers. Let me close this off before they actually make a baby villager who would be able to escape from here. And obviously I need to fix this too. This is another mistake I made. There's no wall here. There needs to be some kind of wall. Oh shoot. What did I do? I see what I did. Trapdoor's in the wrong place. That's how the trapdoor should go. Alright, so now I gotta get those guys out of there. Alright, let's see if I can get these guys out of here. There we go. Okay, I don't think he can get out. And he decided to become a farmer, that's fine. Okay, now they won't be able to get out. There we go, I got my first baby villager. I put a little trap door here so that the baby can't get out of this space, but I'll be able to pick him up after he grows up into an adult villager. Pick him up in a minecart and take him where I need him. So, I didn't build something like this in Bedrock Edition, but I could have. This design will work in Bedrock Edition as well, but it doesn't work exactly the same. And that's because of the way villagers behave when it comes to claiming beds and claiming workstations. In Java Edition, a villager will only claim a bed or a workstation if they can pathfind to it. In other words, if the AI of that villager can figure out a way to walk up to that bed or that workstation, then they can claim it. But if they don't see a path to get to it, then they will not claim it. So that's why, I don't know how well it was noticeable, but when the villager was in, you know, the villager didn't have a profession yet, and it was in the boat, it did not claim a workstation or a bed, or at least it didn't claim a workstation, because it couldn't pathfind to the workstation. It was stuck in the boat. That's not how it works in Bedrock Edition. In Bedrock Edition, a villager will claim a bed or a workstation as long as it's within a certain range, and it doesn't have to be able to figure out a way to walk over to it. In Java Edition, when the baby villager is born, it will claim one of these beds, and then it thinks it can pathfind across the open trapdoors to get to it, and it falls down into this holding area down here. Right, that's where the first baby villager has ended up. From that place down there, it can no longer pathfind to the bed it claimed up here. So when it comes to nighttime, and it tries to get to the bed to sleep in it, it can't pathfind to it, and it unclaims the bed. So that bed is now unclaimed again. Which means, over time, these villagers will keep making baby villagers because there will continue to be unclaimed beds in this village. No matter how many villagers accumulate down here, it could get to a point where you have entity cramming issues because there's so many freaking villagers down there if you don't turn this off. But in Bedrock Edition, like I said, villagers will claim a bed even if they can't pathfind to it. If they can't get to it at night, they won't unlink from it. So once you have as many villagers as there are beds in this system, this villager breeder will just turn off automatically in Bedrock Edition. You don't need to do anything. I will need to, however, intervene in the Java Edition version of this and break some of these beds so that the villagers in there will stop making babies once I've had enough. But I need more than one. So I'm going to just let this go and let these villagers continue to make more babies while I set up a place for the villagers to go. I'm going to put them in a trading hall of sorts. Okay, looks like they're all grown up. Let's get our first villager out. Please don't fall off the ledge. Please. Get in the boat. Please. Thank you. Alright, let's bring him over. Alright, let's see if I can get you down in that hole. Oh, that was too close. Alright, break him out. How about a farmer? You want to be a farmer? And he buys carrots. That's great. Let me get some carrots and lock him in. Oh, come on. I just got carrots and you changed your profession. Jerk. It took too long. I need you to sell me carrots. Because I just got carrots. There we go. Notice the difference here from Bedrock Edition. He leveled up, but I have to wait for the purple particles to appear before I can see the next thing. He does buy pumpkins, which is great. There was a chance that he wouldn't. And in Bedrock Edition, they'll always sell me bread. Not necessarily in Java Edition, but I got a little lucky there, so that's good. Whoops! Oh god, oh god, oh god. Didn't expect the villager to be the death of me. Again, you can see the randomness here. In Java Edition, I'm getting randomly two things that the toolsmith will sell. They're not buying anything. I'd like to have a transaction that'll buy something. And notice here, I've bought a bunch of melons from him and the price has gone down. I have never seen that happen in Bedrock Edition. I don't think that mechanic exists, where villagers will like you. That's true for carrots also, the price has gone down. They'll like you for trading with them, and it causes the prices to drop. And I've actually never in Java Edition seen the price go up for buying or selling a lot of that item. Even though that happens all the time in Bedrock Edition. Yeah, not only that, but the price for stuff that they haven't even... I haven't done any transactions yet with those. The price has gone down for them. I can get golden carrots at a discount. Yes, please. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You're not going to kill me like the last couple villagers. Get in the boat. There we go. Okay. Now I have one of most of the professions I want. I unfortunately was not able to find in an existing village a brewing stand as a workstation for a cleric, so I have to wait to get a cleric villager for a while. I have 2 of these stonemasons because they buy clay balls, and I should be able to get large amounts of those. I know where to find a lush cave, which is going to be plenty of clay. And now, I just need some librarians to hopefully get some good enchanting books. In this case, he sells bookshelves. Now I can just break the lectern and replace it, and that'll reset his trades. This isn't possible in Bedrock Edition to get a librarian that sells bookshelves and enchanting books at the first level, but it is possible in Java Edition. And I'm really hoping to get mending, so I'm going to have to work at this a while. Keep breaking this lectern and placing it down again. There's a different way to do this in Bedrock Edition, which I can show you also. Now, very quickly, back in the Bedrock Edition world, I just wanted to show off something really quickly. When it comes to librarians... Let's see, what's he got? Okay. Now, in Java Edition, to change their trades, I had to break the lectern and then replace it. But here, I can use a sticky piston to move the lectern, and that resets the guy's trades. You can't move a lectern with a piston in Java Edition, so I can't do this. Okay, I swear to you, this is the second attempt, and I have mending. If only I could get so lucky every time. Beautiful. Alright, I'm going to want to get another maybe half dozen or so librarians, so I'm going to have to get this breeder turned on again, which I've done, and get these babies to grow up into adults, and make them librarians. Get a bunch of good enchanting books. So now I have villagers, I have trading halls established in both Bedrock Edition and Java Edition. It's just a matter of a little bit more grinding to get enough villagers and to level up their trades. But as you can see, I already have access to diamond axes. I should be able to get access to all diamond tools, all diamond armor. It's just a matter of a little bit of trading. And once I reach that point, I don't need diamonds anymore. I don't need to mine for diamonds. I can just go to villagers and trade in, like, sticks and carrots and get full diamond armor and tools from that. But that's something I can take care of off camera. And while I'm at it, I'll get levels from trading with the villagers. I can use those levels to enchant the items that I buy from them, and I can have fully enchanted diamond gear for the thing I'm going to do next time. If you made it this far in this video, you probably like what you saw, so click on the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to my channel, and you'll find out what I'm going to do with all this cool enchanted diamond gear I'm going to get for these villagers. Next time on Amon Chooses Minecraft, Java vs. Bedrock.